guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are at the Chicago Auto Show live for you, and of course walking around we definitely had to stop at the Nissan booth because there's more Z excitement coming your way. This is it. This is the totally redesigned. We already introduced it to you. Totally redesigned Nissan Z for 2023. But the great news is you'll look at it, we have an all new color known as Boulder Grey. But before we get into this iconic Japanese sports car, let's talk about what's going on here. The Z. It's been around since 1970, if you could believe that. Starting with the 240 and then working through the whole lineup. What's wonderful about this new iteration is that they're taking a lot of the touches from the past and they're putting it in a pot and they're mixing it up with some new features and definitely new technology. Now, when it comes to the Z, it's all about soul. It's all about how the car makes you feel when you're driving it and definitely when you're looking at it. Now, of course, in the United States, there are many different performance cars you could go with, especially in this price point. And remember, the price point's gonna be starting in the 30s, and then of course, depending on how you option it, will crest into the $1,000 range. Now, with this particular one, this is that sport package, which is gonna give you the better brakes, bigger wheels, and of course, a little bit more price. But what I wanna do is I wanna compare it to another performance car, which is one of the top sellers, the Mustang GT. It's been around longer than the Nissan Z overall, but you know what? Each of them have their performance pluses and minuses, but each of them try to get to the same end goal, being that great two-door performance car. So let's go ahead, let's dive into our new Boulder Grey 2023 Nissan Z and find out, is it the one to buy, that performance car to buy? Right off the bat, the body lines, like we showed you at the New York Auto Show, like we showed you from the actual garages at the Nissan headquarters, the way they did the styling is spot on the money to tie it back to the Nissan 240Z, all the way back from 1970. Up front, you'll notice great style to the headlight design. We have the turn signals on to show those LED turn signals, LED daytime running lamps, and LED headlights. Everything else is super smooth for that aerodynamic efficiency. And the great news is there's nothing fake on it. This is all nicely painted. And let me know what you think about this new Boulder Grey. Nissan is very excited about this color, and so am I. Now, coming across that front grille, it's one of those things that if you have not seen this car in person, it might not make total sense to you. You might say, well, the opening doesn't look that great. It actually works how they did it. So what they did was they took the body lines and they extended it all the way out to give it that nice, large, massive opening that ties it back to the original 240, 260, 280Zs. I really think the way they did the grille is something different and something unique. So you have some gunmetal gray, nice oval shape openings, and then on the bottom side, they actually changed it up with some flat black. Kind of makes it not look so heavy like the Z Proto, which had all the same design. And then of course you gotta have a splitter of some sort because we don't want air to go underneath this sports car. We want air to be shoveled in to the front radiator area. So the way that they took the front fascia, extended it down, gives it that splitter use, but also gives us a nice, sexy appearance. We got the updated Nissan badge proudly displayed on the nose. And then of course, going up onto the hood, it's hard to see, but there's actually a rise in the center, and then you're gonna get this mini bulge that's kind of U-shaped to, like I said, mimic the design of the original 240Z. Now, coming around the bend, since this does have the optional package, we are gonna get some optional goodies. What are we talking about goodie-wise? We're talking about these gunmetal metallic gray wheels. So these are 19-inch wheels. Love the style. Raise. You see that brand there? That is a very, very iconic wheel manufacturer that makes the best wheels. These are forged, so they are lighter than cast aluminum, and the style works great with our Boulder Grey. You're gonna get those 4-piston calipers up front with the Nissan badging, nice bright red calipers, fully ventilated rotors. Now, if you're comparing this to a Mustang GT, of course, the Mustang GT is gonna be larger, and even though both of them kind of wanna look at the past with the styling, it just depends on what really makes your heart pitter patter. Do you want something that's a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller, or do you want that more bold V8 American muscle power? But definitely the wheels with this setup are awesome. Up front, they're 255 on the width, 40 series sidewall, 19-inch wheel. We got all new electric assist rack and pinion to give us ultra quick steering, nice scalpel sharp laser pinpoint accuracy for your steering, and then the design is just really amazing. Now going down the side, super smooth lines. I love the way they took the body line, run it right into the door. You're gonna get gloss black on your mirror caps with those turn signals, and of course that two-tone roof design, all blacked out. One of my favorite things, and like I was saying, until you see this car in person, some of the things may not make sense. And for one of those things for me, it was the samurai sword blade here that runs along the top. When I first saw it, I was like, but in person, this really gives a nice accent to this low, sexy roof line into the rear fender. Of course, you're gonna have that iconic Nissan badge, the Nissan Z badge, and then the door handles. So here's our badge, and then check out the door handles. The way they're super kind of flush in there, you just lift that up and that's gonna open up the door. On the bottom portion, you got a little bit of flat black that just waterfalls down to give us that aerodynamic efficiency. And one of my favorite parts besides the front is this rear fender area. Very sexy, the way it accentuates out. Of course, at the rear, you're gonna get a little bit more rubber to meet the road. So out back, you are looking at 275 on the width on these tires back here. Of course, we're gonna have a limited slip diff to help us get the power down with this rear-wheel drive car. Remember, Mustang GT is a rear-wheel drive car. This is a rear-wheel drive car. Swinging around out back, we see more of those touches. Now, if you're a fan of the Z32 Nissan Z, this is where you're gonna see those touches, the way they did the LED taillights, the turn signals, loving the style of the hatch spoiler, and then Z. That is what sums it up with the Nissan brand, working all the way down. You get this really sexy diffuser, and then of course, an exhaust outlet on each side, nice slash cut. And I'm digging the design that they did around the tip, but really from front to back, it is a complete cohesive look. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about performance in this Nissan Z. All right guys, what's great about performance cars is each one of them goes at it a little bit different way to get that end result. Of course, on a Mustang GT, you would have that naturally aspirated 5-liter V8. Well, guess what? It is back with turbocharged power, actually twin turbocharged power. So underneath the hood, very tasteful engine cover with the Nissan badge. We got that V6 twin turbo badge, nice massive strut tower brace to stiffen up the front end of the business for that excellent handling. But what are we talking about underneath that plastic cover? You are looking at a 3-liter twin turbo V6, 400 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque. The good news is the power band. You're looking at power comes in at 1600 RPM and pulls cleanly all the way through 5600 RPM, 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds. That's a 15% increase. You could get a 6-speed manual if you like to roll through your own gears like I do, or you could get an all-new 9-speed automatic. There's gonna be launch control. You got the mechanical limited slip diff, engine oil cooler, and a carbon fiber drive shaft on the manual. And guess what? That's what we have. Our V6 twin turbo is mated to a slick shifting 6-speed. Now I know you're waiting to hear this thing, and so am I, especially on throttle, but why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what's unique about this Boulder Grey Z. All right guys, here we are inside this new 2023 Nissan Z. We've already been inside this vehicle, but you know what? It feels good to be back again, and we can't wait to bring you the media drive, especially the on-throttle drive footage. Now, if you want to see a super in-depth of this car, I will leave the Nissan Z review that we did from the New York Auto Show, the blue one with the blue interior. I'll leave it in this review at the end. But let's talk about numbers, right? Not only about performance numbers, but about price point numbers. Comparing this to the Mustang GT, they pretty much fall in alignment with price. Now, this one's gonna start a little bit lower in that $30,000 range, but when you option them up, you're gonna be going into cresting in that $40,000 range. So really, I know it may not make sense to compare the two vehicles, but really price point, they're right there on the money. And with the lesser weight of this car and then the Mustang GT and that twin turbo V6, I think on the track, it's gonna be a hell of a competition. But let's see what you get for the money and how it compares to the Mustang. To the door panels, I really think that even though there is some connection here with the 370Z and the 350Z, they did a great job still making it look fresh. I love the gunmetal gray on the door handle there, and the way the AC vent is actually in the door panel, not on the dash. That Alcantara microfiber suede. In this Boulder spec color, we have the red trim interior. New for 2023, looks so sharp. Door pocket is a little small, so you're gonna have to go with a baby miniature size Chicago style hot dog and a bottle of Surge to wash it down. And we have, of course, the optional Bose sound system. Nice quality sound system to give you clear tunes as you're going down the road. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, soft touch material. There's more of that red. It's not too much. You could overdo the red very quickly. They did a great job keeping it balanced. And then as you come inside, you're gonna see two awesome things. First of all, you got your triple gauges across the top, and for 2023, they're analog. You're gonna have boost gauge, your voltmeter, oil pressure, all up top. I can't turn this on right now. It bums me out, but I can't turn it on because we are at the auto show, but this is a new optional 9-inch infotainment system. Nice touchscreen, and I love the way it's integrated very cleanly. You're gonna have more of that red material. We got our climate controls, easy to get to, USB-A, USB-C, and guess what? 2 Twinkies, and that's what you're gonna give to the Mustang owners as you beat them. This is the magic right here though. That 6-speed manual transmission, nice short throws, been totally gone through. It's got a special high performance clutch, and you have the automatic rev match downshift feature, which you could easily turn off, and you got your start stop button conveniently placed. You're gonna get heated seats, 2 cup holders, and then watch this, boom. That's where you're gonna put all the tiers of the Mustang owners as you beat them left and right. And then the interior, I love the two-tone. You got the microfiber suede, the nice bolstering with the red, really, really great setup. Power assist, and what's interesting is you got some manual controls, but then we have power controls right on the side over here. Easy to get to, really give you that nice comfort, tune it for you. But speaking of tuning, I got a freaking 6-speed manual. I wanna drive out of this place. Let me see if I can get out of here. But why don't you come over to the business end before we do? I want to show you behind the wheel of the new Z. All right, guys, here we are. This is where you want to be because it's definitely a great place to be, the business end. Now, when you come on into the interior, you're going to notice that they did a great job on the triple pedal setup. I like the way they use some aluminum on each of the pedals. And of course, you could do your own heel-toe downshifting if you want to shut off that feature. But really, the amount of space in the cabin is awesome. You got your seat controls, manual for the bolstering and stuff, but of course you got your full power assist on the side. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here. It actually feels more spacious than the Toyota Supra, obviously tighter than a Mustang GT, but look at what we got. Nice leather wrap steering wheel with that iconic Z. That's all they're calling this car, is the Z. A little bit of gunmetal. You got some finger activated buttons on the steering wheel, and then your dash is going to be that 12-inch digital display, which, like I said, stay tuned. We are going to be bringing it to you so that you could see everything illuminated and looking really fresh. But you know what? I'm counting down the days until we could go on throttle, but until that day happens, they're kicking us out of the Z. We need to wrap this one up, so let's wrap it up from the Chicago Auto Show. All right, guys, it's been one heck of a day here at the Chicago Auto Show. Definitely got to thank the whole Nissan team for allowing us access to this new Boulder Grey 2023 Nissan Z. Let me know how you're feeling about this Z car. Would you get it over a Mustang GT? Put it in that comment section, but we are going to be driving this in the next few months at a media drive event, so stay tuned for that. But until we meet again, if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to give some love to Lori, this is your chance in the comment section. She's busting her butt out here. Show her some love in that comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.